Hey guys, quickly took a small detour from the highway that would take me to Bikaner and swung myself into a small trail that has brought me here. As you can see, it's a very simple structure, and from the highway it just looked really nice, and I took this opportunity to kind of make a very small review about the KTM 390 adventure that I have been riding now close to 7,000 kilometers. So first let me tell you that I am not a YouTuber or doing reviews for bikes, so I will nullify myself from this crowd. What I'm about to tell you about my experience is I've really moved the bike into places where this bike is ideally made for, and hence with 7,000 kilometers behind me on this bike, I think I'm fairly enough qualified to make a very short video. Now I am riding to the four corners of incredible India, and this is the setup on my bike. Now I have a 5-liter jerry can, and the one that you see here houses all my electronics, and I have a small backpack that has my immediate needs like a water bottle, some vitamin tablets and smaller stuff. My bike is equipped with the carbon racing saddle stays on either sides, and mounted are the Nelson rig bags, which are 28-liter capacity. One side of my bag has all my daily needs, an additional pair of trousers and the toolkit as such. On this side are my thermal wear, which I don't usually want it right now, and some spares that I might need in case of an eventuality. Since this is a new bike, I am carrying spares like the oil seal, brake pads, an extra cable. So as you can see, I've used the Scott Oiler system on the bike, and trust me, for the last 6,000 kilometers that I've been on this journey, I have really not cleaned my chain. I have not tightened my chain, I have not cleaned my chain, and that's how my chain looks like. And yesterday was a ride into the dunes of the Thar, and it's been really nice. Now tires, I purposely changed the OE tires to Haidanu K60 Scouts. I have used a 150 profile because that was the only one that was available. The original equipment is 130 profile, and it's 130/80. So what I have got is a 150/70/17, and on the dunes it was a challenge, keeping in mind that like I'm still riding with all the luggage on. The front stays the same, the profile. It's a 110/90/19. Sorry, it's 100/90/19. And again, these are Haidanu's K60 Scout. Now, the riding stance. The height is perfect for me. As you can see, I have not used the handlebar raisers. I am just riding stock setup. A lot of people have asked me about the seat. And I think, I've kind of got used to any kind of seat that can take me around any part of the world. Now, coming to the electronics, which has been one of my most favorite things to note. As you can see, you have a Trip 1, which, I've actually kept it on. Trip 2, again, you can map it the way for a day. The reason that I have started to ignore that is because my trip is now being monitored by Kogo, the app which is taking me into places. I mean, the route which is getting mapped on this app is very clearly visible, and hence I've given up maintaining the Trip 1 and Trip 2 data. Now, fuel consumption, as you can see, it's showing 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers. And sometime back when I mentioned that it is about 32-33 liters, because every time I do a refill, a tank full, I just have to spend 600 or 700 rupees to the entire thing. My phone is connected to calls only, and you can see there is a phone battery which gives an indication. So today is the 12th of November 2020. I've usually kept the ABS off because I suddenly take on detours, if I see a nice structure like the one that I've come here. And the motorcycle traction control. Now this is an interesting piece which I've really realized. Now once you go to motorcycle, then you can choose to switch on. It's usually by default it is on, but in case you come to this motorcycle traction control option and set it to off. And in case you leave this option there all the time, even if the motorcycle shuts off, the traction control will still be off. But if you leave this option and go to any other option, the minute the motorcycle switches off when you're on a trail, the traction control gets on again by default. Now, I'm sure the company will be looking into this, because the ABS does not, for that matter. Now, I kept this ABS off for quite a few days now, and I realized that it is still in off-road. Even though I'm on the highways, or as I said, like my detours are completely unpredictable. So traction control option would have also been great in case this option was, once you switch it off, it stays there. I hope the company takes this as a feedback. There is a substantial amount of power output increase that goes on off-road, and in case the ABS is off-road and the traction control is off as well. That's something I've really felt. The other thing that people have been asking me is about quick shifter. Now trust me guys, we've been so used to pulling the clutch and shifting gears, and by default, whenever we want to clip gears, the clutch, we usually by default we go there. But what I've consciously tried to do during this ride is, on a couple of occasions I pulled out the GoPro with my left hand and have consciously tried to clip gears without the use of the clutch. And I believe this function is really beautiful. It just takes off. That's really nice that I've seen. Now, feel free to leave comments on questions that you might have. And I would really like to encourage people to know more before, in case you're thinking of investing on this motorcycle. As I said, I'm inching towards 7,000 kilometers on this, and it's been a fabulous ride so far. One thing that I'm yet to get my hands on is to connect the KTM Bluetooth, which can take calls and map it to my Senna. I'm really struggling with that. I'm still an old timer, and I believe that there are people who have done it. It's just a matter of me learning how to do it. But otherwise, this is the bike, and I'm sure it's been a great ride so far. There have been a lot of community from the Dominar owners asking me that I've ridden the Dominar on the Trans-Siberian and the Polar Odyssey. How is this bike when compared to the Dom? Is it a good upgrade for that 1.5 lakhs that one would want to go for? Now, honestly guys, the torque output on this machine is really good. The 5th and the 6th gear, it really flies off on the 6th gear. I've kind of struggled on the 1st and 2nd with a little lower torque there. That is something that is possibly going as a feedback to the company if they would want to do anything about it. But it's really not that big a struggle that cannot be managed. And there are people in the forum who I know have changed the front sprocket to a 14 teeth from the KTM Duke. And I think that's really worked magic, to plug the gap. But again, the top end kind of suffers in case you go in for the switch. But on a travel adventure like this, I believe the top end is really not the point. The point here is that, you should be effortlessly getting in and out of any sticky situation. And I guess, this bike has got just the right amount of power to pull you out of any kind of situations. I hope I have covered most of the thing that I really wanted to share on this bike so far. Light, yes, it's very, very nimble. The front handling is just brilliant. You can take corners, you can lean on the highways. I mean, absolutely, beautiful. On a scale of 1 to 10 on this machine, I think I would give it about 8.5, and I hope this review does help you guys to kind of make an informed decision. But in case you have any specific questions about this machine and its performance as a package, shoot me a question down here and I will try and give a very honest review about it. But for now, this is the location I am here. This is in the midst of nowhere, as you can see, about 200 meters away from the highway, and here I am. Effortless ride in and out of any kind of detours. This is what this machine is all about.